Hello, Americans and other friends and subscribers around the world. So down here in the Crick Bottom, back here, man. Down here in the Crick Bottom this morning, I started burning because I tore down that, over there by the freezer, I tore down that shelter, or that cover, and like that plywood and stuff was completely deteriorated and gone. So I'm burning it, but also burning up the big branch that fell off this old tree here that I still got atop. Burning up a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, if you watch my videos all the time, man, it's noisy down there this morning, but if you watch my videos all the time, back probably 5 years ago, we tried to do the permaculture and garden and stuff down here, and I actually had cut off, you know, a bunch of these cottonwoods and stuff down here and thinned this out so that we could grow here. We produced a little. The thing about this soil down here, you know, this is down in the creek bottom and down in the wetlands. So, man, year round, man, you can come down here in July and August, man, in a couple of shovelfuls and you'll start hitting mud. Most of the time, depending on how dry and stuff of the year, you can a couple of shovel loads and you'll actually have water. You know, so the water, I mean, it's right here. We're just standing on it. But I'm down here burning this stuff up. We may, and this is down behind where you're at, and I haven't had any grow yet, but I actually, back here is where I put all them plugs in them stumps and everything. Those, you know, they should, man, start, hopefully they start fruiting this year, but I'm going to do more. And that's one of the things I'm doing down here right now is clearing it out, because one of our dreams for the homestead is, whether we end up doing it to where we sell them commercially and stuff later, I don't really care about, but more for our own use, is growing and producing, you know, make the Crick Bottom Mushroom Farm or something down here. So I'm down here kind of clearing up that. I need to go in and get some listings done. But one of the things about fire, you know, if you've never researched, read, or anything like that, the problem with the big forest fires and everything that we're having, you know, even in California and stuff, and down there's a lot of the dry and the drought, but just in the Northwest, especially the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and man, you know, Oregon and down the Oregon fires have had some, but not, I guess it's been a few years. Anyway, it was squirrel. I seen that little mother. But the thing about it is the suppression that they've done over the years, you know, since the huge fire, you know, back in the early 1900s and stuff, and as the Forest Service and the smoke jumpers and the firefighting and the airplanes and the suppression began. Well, now, you know, this many years, 100 years later, and especially for the last 50 or 60 years, idiots and jakebirds, we've suppressed it so much that it has caused fuel. You got to have fires. It's all a natural thing to go with the earth, you know, with the earth mother and everything. Fire is a natural thing. Like the tamaracks and stuff like that won't even grow, or the lodge poles, the pine cones are so tight that the fire is actually what makes them open up and spread their seeds. So fire is a cycle. So one of the things that I do on the homestead, and Devin's shown a ton of it, is eventually, man, I want to, you know, just burn, you know, burn and get rid of a lot of the stuff. You can't really see it right behind you. You can see where I'm standing. It's pretty thick. But, man, it's so thick down here that, you know, there's a lot of fuel down here, which is actually protection for the cabin and shops and everything like that, too. But it also helps rejuvenate and, you know, make everything healthy and strong. So that's what I'm down here doing. There's the long story version about that. So I'm burning up all that. Something I was going to show is, so the ones I came through here and I cut, you know, and at the time I'd cut, like, say this, we'll just use this one as an example, but I cut off a lot of the cottonwoods about this height, you know, about the 4 or 5 foot height, and then I made trellises out of them for beans and different things to grow. And actually used some, weave some together and tied them and stuff like that for cages for tomatoes and peppers and that kind of stuff. Well, the thing about cottonwoods, it's pretty dang cool is the ones that I have cut off, you know, because they're such a... First, the only thing I really don't like about cottonwoods is the cotton. But the, and they're dangerous dang trees. If I could switch all these over for lodge poles and pine trees and fruit trees and all that, I would. I'd still keep a few cottonwoods, but preferably the cottonless. But the thing about them is once they die and stuff, you can go like that, and you can just break them mothers right off. I mean, they're just such a, you know, wimpy as soon as they start rotting. And I've said it before in the past, is cottonwoods is, I think, #2 on the list for the best wood to use for permaculture because of it decays and goes away, you know, breaks down so fast, and all the nutrients and stuff are so good in it. It's one of the best ones for permaculture, and that's what we made the Hugelculture bed that we did up there. You know, we buried cottonwoods in there, man. You can see it sinks, man. It's kind of like when they do a grave and they do the mound and it sinks with time. It's kind of about what that did too. Anyway, I'm gonna throw some more stuff on this fire. Go in. I got to show you the lion's mane mushroom. We're getting ready to harvest it, man. It's just booming. Alright, as you can see, I'm removing this door. And if you see, I actually put some tape on it. See how this gap, the whole bottom of this door, and one reason is the way that this door is mounted, which will be changed. It's on the list. So what we're going to do is flip this bad boy over. This is an old, you know, this is a 100-year-old door or more. Came out of an old cabin. It's like the one that you can see, well, you can't really see it, but the one that I have on its side right there is an old, it's over 100 years old. And old Red brought me that one back from Rhode Island when he was driving truck. Alright, so what I'm going to do is examine and see what the heck we got going on here. Let's see it. See, so it's like a tongue and groove. Sticking in there. Actually, it's a notch, man. It's very cool how these old doors, look at that. And then you got finger jointed here. Very cool. Very easy fix. So what I'm going to do is get some wood glue. Get some wood glue and a rubber mallet, and then I'm going to pound that thing back in. One crap, I guess good just took them off. Anything that come off that easy. Alright, so I used what glue. That's one thing about living off-grid, semi-off-grid, is I have 2 milk crates, you know, that's got like spray paints and stuff like that in them that I pull in the winter. and only one of them got put in, and my Elmer's glue, my wood glue, is froze. So I ended up dipping out enough. I forgot to turn the camera on and got a little bit on that. So what I'm going to do to help keep it in place so that I can let it hang there. So I'm going to find my bag. Go check somebody's writing on my carpet folder. Beard's good for me. It catches the finish nails. So what I ended up doing, before I had to go deal with I don't put trespassers in my videos because that could be evidence. Didn't catch up to them. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Obviously, they can't read. I ended up putting what glue I could scrape together, which will help. So then I added these little ring shank finish nails. These are what I use for my twig furniture. They're actually paneling nails. Of course, I dropped one. I'd check my beard first. There it is. So I went ahead and put three corner inside there. And now, since those came apart so quick or so easily, let me check this other side. You can see this kitty's seal stuff. So now, since it went to, I'm going to go ahead and put the one side bracket. So next we're going to, I don't think you need to watch me or want to watch me put this door back on, but we're going to show the lion's mane mushroom, man. We're going to harvest some of that, so we'll show that.
Okay, so I got the mane mushroom out here, and you can see it has started to get brown. And I did trim off, yeah, that's the mulch on the inside. I did trim off here where the label was. You can see there's a big gap right here, and it had started to get moldy. Yeah, it's kind of weird, and you can see the mycelium starting to grow right in here too. And I've done a little bit of research, and it looks like the best, well, you can just eat these, they're edible as food.
They're very good.
But I read the best way to extract all of the medicinal value is to do a heat, you boil it for 3 hours, and then cut it into fine pieces, put this in the water, boil the water for 3 hours, let it cool, pull the water off, and keep it in the refrigerator in a dark spot. And then take the little pieces of mushrooms and then soak it in alcohol for 2 weeks. Once that maceration is done, then you take the liquid from the alcohol and the liquid from the boil, and you combine them. And then you can dose yourself with that liquid. So that's what we're going to do.
Then you take it, which we'll go over, but you take it for 2 weeks, and then you take a week off. And that's all for digestion, for brain health. Man, there's just a whole list. It's just a miracle.
Really good stuff.
Miracle.
It looks like I've got some more there that I've got to trim up there.
Is that knife sharp enough?
No, it's really rubbery.
Oh, really?
Oh, would you like me? Do you have a knife I can borrow?
Oh, do I have a knife you can borrow? Christine.
I will use Christine.
That's her name.
Okay, no, I really am not, but I'm not going to
I'll do it.
put it up. I know that you would. I knew that you would. Okay, so I don't know if you guys want to watch me chop this, but I'm going to chop this, put it in this bowl, transfer it to a pan, add the water, and then get it boiling and let it boil for 3 hours. And this right here, this were you afraid that we were going to lose your knife?
No, man, I got to close it. It's a job. Holy crap.
But I didn't mean to let this turn this color, but I was trying to get it to do the tooth. And I don't know if you can see right here. Look what we got there. See all that powder?
Ooh, that's all.
Yeah, we're going to take that down and see if we can inoculate some trees. Because that's just the spores. So there we go.
And we're also going to try to regrow.
Yeah,
this.
I'm going to
close this up.
take all of the fruiting material off the top here that I can, and then seal up the bag. I might actually put it in a different bag because I'm not too impressed by this whole label thing.
Boy, look at this, the goo.
Yeah. All the mycelium in there, I know,
yeah,
it's beautiful.
amazing.
And I don't know, maybe we should inoculate with that too. I don't know.
Well, I think I want to keep this growing. I want to buy. We need to order some plugs and everything for down below.
You can see the mycelium here.
Oh, yeah, it's just amazing.
There. Now that we've disturbed it, it may have.
They got mad.
Yeah, said I'm not going to grow no more.
I think it will.
And I can just, as I'm doing this, I don't think you can see it on camera, but every vibration I'm knocking off more spores.
And the smell, I cannot
Yes.
express how good it smells. And this is actually the one, if you look back, this is Leap Year sent it to us. And he's been actually taking the capsules.
I can see the little spots, and that's the mulch that it's growing out of. Okay, cool.
Just because.
You want to touch?
Yes, it's so
Elastic. It reminds me of the interior of my usnea.
trying to think of what is it that we eat that's like that when you, and it leaves nothing on your hands. I mean, it's just, it looks so ooey and gooey, but it actually, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of when you pull a piece off to eat.
Cotton candy?
No, cotton
Oh, look at my
candy's
fingertips.
look at that.
That's the spores.
It's so awesome.
Yes, it is. So what?
And Perry was saying, what's a good easy mushroom to grow? Man, this one.
Yeah, this was
You know,
really easy.
unless you're wanting to plug some stumps and everything, lion's mane and oyster mushrooms are the, I'd have to say, the two easiest. This came in this bag. All we did is followed their little instruction, and within a week, man, it was going to town.
I'm going to set that aside and chop this up. I might just break this with my fingers the way it was feeling with this knife. Yeah, I'm just going to break it with my fingers because it just presses it. And for the extraction process, you want tiny pieces, as small as possible, so I'm just going to kind of shred it here with my fingers.
We probably don't need to film all that.
No, I'm probably
All right, so now I'm going to help her tear that apart. I'm actually out burning, so I'm going to check that. And then going to boil it for 3 hours. You can't see my face because it's dark because of the light. It's starting to get in the evening time. So we're going to get this rolling and taken care of. You're pretty to look at anyway.
Okay.
And then we will show the process. Like I said, I got to boil this down. And then we'll show, you know, well, it's just like making any tincture.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll really show that. We can show it. We'll show it boiled down maybe in the next video. We'll show just little steps through the videos, I guess, unless you want to put one together for it. But that's over a 2-week process, so I don't know about all that. Anyway, we'll keep you posted one way. Yeah, one way or another. You'll see little parts of it. We'll talk a little bit about it. Other than that, man, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Helps keep the lights on, the home fires burning, and the propane tanks full. And check out the links below.
Because that's a great way to support the homestead.
And we thank you for that.
Yes, we do.
I've been listing some new things on eBay, so check out the eBay store. And good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise.
We'll be back again tomorrow.
See ya!